Hey guys, if you didn't make it to the theater this weekend to see Ghost in the Shell, don't worry about it. I got you. I'm about to sum it up in about 5 minutes. There's definitely going to be some spoilers in this video. It was directed by Rupert Sanders and released March 31st, 2017. Ghost in the Shell is a sci-fi action movie based off the 1995 Japanese anime of the same name. It takes place in the near future where man and machine are pretty much one. Every human has some type of upgrade, or almost every human has some type of upgrade, whether it be eyes, ears, or a limb. It follows a cyborg counter cyber terrorist played by Scarlett Johansson and her task force Section 9. ScarJo's name is Major in this film, and Hanker Robotics is the leading tech company that creates Major by putting a human brain into a mechanical body to create the perfect weapon. The movie opens up with a cyber terrorist attack, and they're trying to catch this guy the whole movie, and she finally tracks him down, and his name is Kuze, played by Michael Pitt, and he ends up telling her some things she doesn't know about herself, and she finds out that she isn't who she thinks she is, and Hanker Robotics has been lying to her all along. So throughout this movie, she's fighting bad guys and terrorists and stuff, but she's also on a path to find herself. Overall, I thought it was pretty good. It's just a few things that I didn't like about it, and without further ado, let's get to the dislikes. The complaints about the cultural appropriation of Major by Scarlett Johansson. I totally get it. Asian people have all the right in the world to be mad at that. You know, it's been going down in Hollywood for years, for decades even. We know all about it. If you don't believe me, just go ahead and Google Cleopatra, played by Elizabeth Taylor. Next, it needed more action. There was definitely action scenes sprinkled throughout this film, but I feel like the best scene was in the very beginning where she jumps off the building and comes through the glass in the translucent suit. Like, that was the best scene of the film. It didn't really get better than that, and that's kind of a problem because that was in the first 10 minutes of the film. Maybe don't swim with jellyfish and beat up some more bad guys or something? I don't know. The next thing I had an issue with was the line from Batman. This one right here.
It's not who I am underneath, but what I do that defines me.
She said this twice in this film, and I was looking around just like, really? Is she really quoting this Batman movie right now? I don't know who said it first, but either way, it just threw me off. It's like, don't say that. I immediately think of Christian Bale and that Batman voice, even though it was Batman Begins. Next, the end scene. The end scene was a bit anticlimactic for me. She fights the spider robot controlled by the head dude Cutter of Hanker Robotics. Didn't really do anything for me. It was a bit underwhelming. Even though at the end when she pulled the top off of it and broke her limbs off by doing it, that was pretty cool. But overall, it was just kind of like a type of ending. Lastly, the director seemed like more of a music video director, not a movie director. He did Snow White and the Huntsman. I haven't seen that. Let me know what you guys thought about that in the comments. But I just feel like this movie was kind of shot like a music video, and it's not a music video, it's a film. With that said, here's what I did like about the film. The opening scene where she jumps off the building and comes through the glass in that translucent suit was just really cool. The sound was on point. It was just a really cool opening scene. I dug it. I wanted more of it. Next was the crime scene investigation. The way they did the investigating of the crime scene wasn't even at the crime scene. They just took all the data from it and brought it back to their lab, and like they can walk into it and move stuff around. It was just really cool and kind of hard to explain. You kind of just have to see it. Another thing I liked was the way they did the deep dive. There's a geisha in the opening scene that was used to hack one of the gentlemen there that was working for Hanker Robotics. Some type of technology was trying to get stolen, and it was a robotic geisha, and they had to hack. She had to hack into the geisha in what they call a deep dive, but that would also make her susceptible to the actual hacker. So there was levels of this neurological matrix that we're going into here, and that whole scene, the way they did that was really cool. When she went into the deep dive, the VFX were on point, and it kind of reminded me of Matrix. There's a little bit of a Matrix parallel there. With that said, this movie is 100% eye candy. It's definitely a visual movie. I can respect that. The futuristic Tokyo stuff, you know, the translucent suits, that whole, you know, the whole breaking through the glass scene, is everything, you know, the geishas, everything was just very, very visual. Next was Bateau. I really like Bateau's character. He was Major's partner and part of Section 9. There's a scene where there's an explosion and it hits his eyes, and he has to get new eyes, and he gets these robotic eyes. And I thought that was really cool. It was great casting for him. It's played by Pilo, I forget his name, Pilo something. He's a Danish actor. Next is Section 9. Even though I like the idea of the team of the counter-terrorists, they didn't really utilize them. They were very underutilized. You didn't really see them that much in the film kicking ass. You saw them from scene to scene, but they really weren't doing too much. There was only like one scene where you got to see them all fighting together, and you kind of want to see more of that. Next, the overall design. I love the overall design. They had the futuristic stuff going on, but but they also had the minimalistic stuff going on as well. As far as the car and the daytime sets, it just really reminded me of like a original RoboCop from the 80s. So that was really cool how they had this futuristic movie, but they didn't do all this extra futuristic shit. They kept it kind of basic, and I love that. I dig that. Next is Michael Pitt. I think Michael Pitt did a pretty good job in this. I wasn't too excited to see him as the villain, but it turns out he's not really the villain, and the way they digitalized his voice, I think, helped a lot. It was almost like a whole nother actor, and you weren't stuck on the fact that it's Michael Pitt playing this character. Also, I like the fact that Major gets closure at the end, and she gets to meet her mom and find out who she was prior to this, and get some human resolve instead of just being this lost robot with a brain, you know? But let me know what you guys think in the comments. Did you like my review? Did you like this movie? And who do you think can play Major better than ScarJo? Like, which Japanese actress do you think they should have went with, or could play this role better than her or as well as her? Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. You can check out my other videos right here, and be sure to subscribe. I'll see you later, guys. Peace.
That's impossible. I am Corbin Dallas.